30 minutes of friends talk about everything that matters to women.
Yeah.
Welcome to the lounge.
How about something healthy? Wouldn't you?
That's
Care,
embarrassing
take your-
because you can never catch me in some food. Honestly, don't force me to do that.
Okay, so
Yeah.
when it comes into food and healthy habits, this is where we always have this kind of, let's say, conflict, especially when it comes into friends that are going to the gym and they're taking good care of their health.
Yeah.
And when it comes into us normally with our gatherings, I mean, could be very inconvenient when it comes into, let's say, ordering meals. Like, do you agree?
Definitely.
To be fair, it's just, I think for us, when we think about healthy food, it's solid, no oils, no nothing. And sometimes we think of it also as it's tasteless.
Yeah.
But when we think about regular food, it's just like we go straight for fast food or like even cooked at home. But there is a side of a balance. You can always work on that. But also put in mind that the lifestyle matters. So if someone who's dieting, the food is completely different.
Yeah.
Right.
Because they think about if they want to gain weight or lose weight. So that's a whole math that I shouldn't be
Yes,
involved in
right.
as a guest.
Exactly.
Honestly,
Yes, yes.
you know what I mean? So I think it depends on everything, the lifestyle, the person, what they want, but we can always balance it out.
Definitely, it is a good balance, but sometimes healthy food can be tasty as well.
Yes.
And especially when you're having it like a lifestyle. So it is part of your lifestyle. It's not like something you want to change for a limited time, then go back to like, let's say fast food or
Right.
ruining your diet. So as long as you have it as a lifestyle and then have some breaks like once or twice a week would be fair enough.
I think so too. Honestly, I'm obsessed with salads. Like, yes, I like all the junk food in the world, and I guess that's the dark side of my food and eating habits, but I love salads. So if you find maybe the flavors that you like, you can incorporate them in different meals that are healthy. But I think there's a lot of tips and tricks when it comes to still eating the things you like, the burgers, the pizzas that you are into, and
Definitely.
staying healthy in a way or another.
To be fair, what I've been into lately, I've been watching a lot of like videos on social media, and I love when people make their own food. It looks so aesthetically, it looks
Yes.
pleasing.
Yeah.
But the whole making it, like the process, is just annoying. But seeing the food, I think you can definitely make healthy food taste better by knowing like your dough, where's it come from. If you want to make a pizza, by knowing your own meat, how you make it. Like if you want a burger. So there's always like some ways to do so. But it's just maybe that's what I'm planning to try. I'm giving it a
Yeah.
try for once in my life at least with like healthy food.
Yeah, I mean, it's something very great to actually keep it in consideration that, especially when you want to treat yourself very well, it's very important for you to know where your food is coming from and how good you're taking care of it, you know. And one of the things that I find very challenging when it comes into preparing your meal by yourself is that, especially for me, I immediately get satisfied. Like if I prepare the meal, then that's it. I don't need to eat it. You know, I always tell everyone that I eat with my eyes. Like
Yes.
even if I want to order food, it's not about my own, let's say, meal, but it's about different meals that I would encounter on the table, and it's only just to feel satisfied. Like if it's one meal, I'm not going to feel that it's going to be full,
Right.
and I still be hungry. Though I'm not going to be able to finish the meal. So
exactly.
one of the things I had a conflict with my husband is that I order a lot and I eat just maybe a quarter of the portion, and he ends up eating the rest of the order,
Yeah.
and that's why he gains weight.
Yes.
And he started to lose weight because I stopped ordering like for a while, and this is where he dropped a lot of weight. And now seeing me back trying to order, he runs away immediately. Like, don't order, that's it, you know.
He's
So,
traumatized.
Yes,
yeah.
definitely.
That's the thing, that there's so many options. Ordering food has been so easy. One of my friends actually said that she has deleted all the apps off of her phone.
Wow.
All the food delivery apps.
Wow. I mean,
I
that
cannot
is-
do that.
I cannot do that.
Most important
incredible.
app to be deleted, to
Yeah.
keep in mind
I mean,
to delete. I
yes.
mean, it's
That's a
After
strong
social media, that should be the first thing to be there.
Honestly, when I studied abroad, food delivery was not a thing. You could get pizza on a good day, maybe by 8 p.m. maximum.
Yeah.
But we didn't have all these options and possibilities. So there was no ordering app, there was nothing like that. And I didn't have eating issues. because if I had a craving, I couldn't satisfy it on the spot. But now if I crave something, I can order it
Immediately.
anywhere, no matter what it is and what time it is.
Yes.
So that's where my issue is coming from.
Definitely. Yeah, I can agree on this, especially having all of these apps that, competing and who delivers faster and
Yes.
who does it quicker and, so many options that you get to choose from. Even, let's say, if you're craving a burger, you have like a huge options, to choose from, or a pizza, let's say, like, it doesn't end there. So I believe it's very challenging, for one to stay, let's say, 100% committed.
Yes.
But to be fair, I think when you order food, most of the time, like within the time, you feel like the food is tasteless. It doesn't feel good no more. And I feel like I face that so much that I just get bored of the food. I'll be done with it. And right here, I'm like, I should start cooking or something. And then even when I go back to like my mom's cooking, I'm like, I'm just done with this food as well. You know what I mean? So I don't know what to do. Yeah, but it's just, but also like put in mind, it's like in our culture, we love food.
Yeah.
And it's in every single conversation. It's in every single minute. Even at work, you'll be eating. At home, you'll be eating.
That is so true.
Even at the gym. I meet girls like they bring in their own food and they're like, come, and they share with everyone. And it's just insane. So I'm like, how am I gonna keep up with this? How am I gonna?
Hosea, it's so bad because our gym is right next to some very unhealthy restaurants.
Yeah.
And I would be doing my session, and sometimes they're really long, like 2 to 3 hours, and I'd be thinking it's fine, I'll finish, I'll go get myself some fries. So that's been a major issue for me.
Honestly,
I
same
wish
here.
there was a salad place next to us or anything.
No, there isn't. I'd be doing the same. I'd be getting matcha and I'd be getting good pizza too.
Oh, yes.
And I don't even feel bad. I'm like, it's okay because I burned so much calories. It's fine.
Exactly.
I can eat all of
I'd
that.
be looking at my
Excusing
watch
yourself.
and
Yeah, of course. Because I deserve it.
we factor it. Like 700 calories, I can
Yes,
get
I
that
know.
pizza.
Maintaining your own, let's say, weight in that matter of sense. Like I burned that calories, it's fine if I take it back. But you know what? I'm just working out, so it's fine. Having that kind of sense of balance in a way in life. But what's very challenging is when you're with toddlers. One of the things that challenge you is when it comes into providing food. Like my 2 daughters don't like me to order meals for them through applications. Like, Mom, why don't you do something for us? And I'm like, you know what? It's late. Let me just order for you. It's like, no, don't order. And they'll throw the phone away. We want you to prepare something. So this is where the struggle actually happens, is because, first of all, I don't cook. And this is the most challenging thing that I can actually face a mom, is like, having that kind of sense of responsibility that you have kids to feed. And then what I'm really good at, I really like Italian food. So it's always pasta. Like you can give me, let's say, the flour and the egg, and I can create for you pasta from scratch.
Amazing.
But I cannot cook rice. I cannot do lots of, let's say, deal when it comes into main dishes. But when it comes into pasta, it's fine. So the thing is, they love that Alfredo fettuccine pasta. So they'll be like, we want the white pasta, Mom. And I was like, you know what? It's the easiest one. Just create it with love. But having that, it's very important to educate your kids and educate yourself also, because they do need very healthy nutrition, and they need you to actually be there and provide them with meals. It's a very easy way to just order. It's always a click away, but it's very fun when you try to create that kind of moment and create that kind of meal. And the most important thing is that we all agree that one of the most important cuisine that we like is Italian food.
Yes.
For sure. When it comes to no?
100%.
What do you mean?
No.
That's why you don't enjoy food while traveling. Where are
What are
you
you
eating?
talking about? Italian?
Yeah.
It's
Like,
actually
if you're
Like I'm
talking about-
talking about me and my daughter, like anything
Yeah.
Italian, we're fine with it.
Okay,
It's
but if we're
actually-
talking about like Italian in here, it's not real Italian.
It's not
Yeah, it's
real
not real.
Italian,
Yeah, it's not
but
real.
it's good
Let's
Italian.
it's
It's the one that satisfies us all,
Exactly.
Yes,
because when
yes.
you go to Milan, it's like bland.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
not
olive
good.
oil and garlic.
Exactly.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
you're living in like one of the best places to be eating Italian food.
True. Everything tastes better in here, to be fair.
Yeah,
Let's
and
be
we
honest.
are the
Definitely.
capital of food.
100%.
I agree. Yes.
Yeah.
But how do we like balance it though? If we're gonna, let's be real, because like when we cook our own food, it would take longer time. Ordering is way easier.
We don't have
Yeah.
time.
It's
Yeah.
way
To
easier.
be honest, like this is one of the struggles that I hear from everyone, is when it comes into preparing meals, they say it takes time. Well, vice versa. When I started to prepare these meals, like I'm saying it back again. I'm not a chef. I don't really cook that well. But I mean, when it comes into fast, easy meals, I mean, you can prepare a meal within 20 minutes.
That's
You know,
never
if you
happened
just
with me.
if you just
That works.
system yourself and just give the right, let's say, moment for everything. I mean, you could immediately within 20 minutes. 20 minutes is max for me in the kitchen.
That's
You
the
know, so
thing.
it's like.
Hiba, I need your secrets. I've seen a lot of recipes on social media where, you know, it's a short reel and you can tell it took them no time. And they say it's like a fast 20-minute meal, one pan, all of that. It takes me 2 hours. So like, I'm very confused when it comes to, I don't know if it's the cleanup, if it's like getting the ingredients ready
when I
and the
prepare
cutting.
everything, I immediately, like for instance, if I
Yes.
prepared a creamy, let's say, dish, I immediately, within the same time, I
Yes.
wash the dish exactly the same
Yeah.
time. Like I don't wait for it to
Oh,
be
smart.
soft or
Yes,
let's say leave it.
dishwasher.
Yeah.
That's probably how, you know, people on social media, as you can see, they finish quicker or faster, as you were saying.
Yes.
Now, girls, I know we have a lot to talk about, but let's take this break and we will be back.
So I'm pretty sure we all have our favorite cuisines and different countries we like to eat. And I know I love a lot of cuisines. I'm not gonna lie. I love spices. I love Italian. I love Thai food. I know you do too, Hiba.
Not really.
Not really?
Like to be honest, I enjoy everything since it's not seafood. And Thai food is actually considered one of the main, let's say, food which is seafood. So I
Right.
immediately shift into choosing anything vegetarian,
Yes.
anything with chicken, beef. But you know, there's a very, let's say, tom yum soup. I think
It's so
it's a
good.
very well-known dish. And I remember one of my friends ordered it, but it was different. Like it was only with the vegetables, and still like it was very hesitating to take a
Really?
sip because I was really petrified that it looks the same, like it's white and this is red, but I feel like
Yes.
it was like very terrifying.
You
for me.
know, Hiba, I'm the complete opposite. I love seafood in all of its shapes and forms.
wow.
And my favorite cuisine is Japanese.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yes, I do love Japanese food, and I tend to go for raw, you know, let's say rolls or sushis.
I'm like, God forbid.
Government.
Yeah, so this is like, if I can eat this my whole life, I will definitely. So it is my favorite.
So me and Fawzia were actually talking about how we like sushi. We're craving a sushi meal, but it's
it's
the
not real.
complete opposite
Let
than
me
your
tell you,
situation.
Rita and Fawzia, this is not real sushi.
Yeah, we know.
This is not real, you know, especially being so heavy with different kind of sauces. You know, when having it like very raw and authentic, this is, you know, the beauty of it.
No,
Guys,
but there
I'm-
is
I
there
can't
is a
do
possibility.
it.
Yeah, it's like a 50-50 chance because I be thinking about what's gonna happen to my stomach, if there's any parasites inside, and I have to worry about that, and then like I get paranoid about.
I have a solution for
cook it
this.
for
It's
me.
the texture too. Honestly,
It feels weird.
The
I mean,
texture.
do you guys eat oyster?
No,
I
I don't.
do.
I don't
Tried?
eat seafood
Yes.
either.
Like,
so
talking about what you know, insects and stuff like that. I remember I saw a viral video about oysters, that there's a kind of, let's say, an insect or something that you have to take care of when it comes into eating it. I was very terrified.
Wow.
Like I remember my friends, they were like having their oysters, and I was like checking instead of them, like,
Oh,
is
wow.
there something in it?
Nasty.
Like you guys have to take care. Like I never thought in a
Yeah.
million year that if I'm eating something that, you know, these things could, let's say, interfere. We have to take care of what's happening. It was very scary moment for me to see it. Though I don't
Yeah.
eat seafood, but
But also
Exactly.
salmon. Salmon's the same thing.
Yeah.
So, girl, you have to worry about that too. So that's one thing. There is like a disclaimer. Whenever you're pregnant, you're not supposed to be eating salmon.
That is true.
See, so why would I worry about
But Fawzia,
that?
let me
know
tell
that.
you,
Me too.
raw salmon or raw tuna. So anything raw.
Yeah, exactly.
But anything cooked is fine.
But you're talking about salmon that is not cooked.
But let me tell you one thing.
Okay.
So this is a solution unless you do not like the texture of it.
Right.
So this wasabi that they tend to put on the side.
Yeah.
So because sometimes anything raw, just to avoid anything, happening in your stomach, like what you said. So having this small bit of wasabi with your actual raw, it works like an antibacterial, and it
Oh wow.
kills if God forbid there is anything. So if you take your sushi with a tiny bit of wasabi, it can kill actually bacteria.
Yeah, but does it cook?
It
Does
doesn't.
it cook? Does it torch the salmon?
Honestly, she has such refined taste. Like she's another league when it comes to food. Me and you are just getting pizza from right next to the gym,
Yeah,
so it's
just
very
a burger.
different.
For me, I'm a moody eater, and I'm not even that deep. Like it's not that deep for me. Just give me anything that is edible, and I just don't care. Just feed me. I don't know what is the taste. I don't know even what's going on. Just I need to survive life.
Right.
That's food for me. So I don't really have a favorite cuisine. I just want to eat.
It's the cravings that get us usually.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I believe it's always about the mood, like especially if you're watching something like, for instance, nowadays I'm watching a Korean series. I don't know how, I don't know when did this start, but
Yeah.
I mean, it grabbed my attention. I used to watch something not that serious, and now I'm watching something very serious. I mean, it's very tremendous. Like, it's episode 6 and I'm crying.
Oh wow.
Okay, let's leave that emotion away. But once you see them eating that kind of food, Korean food, and how they enjoy the noodles and everything, I immediately saw myself in a way just eating the noodles and watching the series. I was like, what's happening?
It's
And
influence.
it's Korean,
Yes.
like real Korean, with the egg and everything. I'm
No
like,
way.
wow. I'm like, what's wrong with me? You really get into that kind of sense of, as you just said, just enjoying the moment, looking at everything, and you really get intense when it comes into food and your mood. So yeah, I do believe it's always about the mood.
Definitely. The mood plays the biggest role. But how do you feel about eating at home? So if you had the option to have a home-cooked meal, and I'm talking the good stuff, not the stuff we're trying to make. At least me and Hiba, I know we can't cook at all, right? The stuff that our parents would make, like our mom would make. Would you have our cultural food, or would you rather go towards the fast food and just order other cuisines?
I wouldn't say fast food, but I'm also, to be fair, I always consult my stomach. Like I have to wake up and ask.
Yeah, what do you feel like having?
Genuinely. And I'm
Yeah,
like, do you
that's
crave
true.
some chicken today? Do you crave some beef? What do you want? So right here where I would decide if I want to go with like fast food or like home cooked meal.
Okay.
It's weird.
That is
Yeah.
true. For me, it also depends on the mood. But again, I would prefer going for, homemade dishes.
Yes.
Instead of going for anything fast food.
For me, it's all about my wallet. If I'm broke, then hey, mom.
Exactly.
If I'm not broke, everyone, the bill is on me.
You're
For
ordering for everyone.
And let me just clarify this. Like, there's a certain meal that I really enjoy eating. Like, if my mom prepared this meal, I'm willing to sacrifice any kind of order. Even if I ordered a meal and my mom prepared it, I would cancel the meal. And the thing is, my mom always prepared it when I'm not there.
Oh my God.
When I'm far away, when I'm traveled, when I'm sitting at my home, not in the gathering, she's like, I prepared it, where are you? And it's like, no, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to do it on weekends.
Right.
Or sometimes she prepare it on the day that I'm leaving back home, because I do sleep the weekend in my mom home. So when I'm going back home, she's like, but I prepared the meal. Why aren't you having it?
wow.
And I was like,
I would cry. I would actually cry.
so yeah.
Oh, honestly, my mom would make it again for me. My mom, because
Love
I'd
that.
be crying like that. I'd be like, Mom, but you don't love me like that no more. I'd be dramatic. Everyone would know. Even the people, my coworkers would know. My mom, she cooked my favorite meal. She would cook it again. Maybe I'm just a bit spoiled, but that's what I usually do.
At least she does it. Like, I mean, she keeps telling me like, I don't really prefer this meal, but I'm doing it anyways. I was like,
Oh, that's so sweet.
yeah, but you have to do it when I'm
When
there.
you're there, because
Not when I'm leaving, mom.
what's the whole
That
reason
time,
behind
you
it?
know? I don't know if
Definitely.
she's doing that for me to stay more. Like we could look at it as a different
Honestly,
perspective.
that could be what she's trying to do, to be honest. Because if she's making it as soon as you're gonna leave on the day, it makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense, honestly.
Yeah.
She's trying to lock you in at
it
home.
from a different perspective, the bright side, right?
Exactly.
The positive side.
Yeah.
But do we agree that home cooked meals are healthier? Because I don't think so. I've personally made the unhealthiest meals at home. You know, it could have been easier ordering, like junk food, honestly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow,
totally.
that
Because
is
like the
huge.
amount of oils that our families use, it's like in the culture. You know what I mean? Just because it's a home cooked meal, that doesn't mean it's actually healthy. The amount of like oils they use, the amount of God knows salt. Exactly. Everything is
yeah.
salty. That is so true. And then we eat so much rice, and then even though there's like meat on the side, but we're eating most of the rice.
Well, all the rice.
And it's just
Yeah.
it's not as healthy till we balance it out.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, so we've been talking a lot of food and stuff like that. I mean, let's continue ordering. We still
Yeah,
need
because
to
I'm
order
really
and
starving.
decide.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So girls, we've been talking about like healthy food and ordering out and everything, but what about a different kind of eating? Binge eating, or you got emotional eating. So how do we work with that? Like, do you have that?
I actually have something, let's say, very closer to emotional eating, where when I'm happy, I tend to eat. Yes. I know some people have the opposite. And when I'm worried or stressed or I have a lot of things on my mind, I avoid eating, or I do not feel myself, but at the end of the day, I notice, oh, I did not eat. So that happens.
Definitely.
Yeah,
When
I have
I'm-
the same. Wallah.
I think when you're happy, you're eating, right, Hiba?
Yeah, I eat a lot. Like I gained 15 kilos because I'm happy. Imagine.
Well, at least you're happy.
Yeah.
That's
At
all
least
that
you're
matters.
happy.
The thing is, what I face in my life is people when because we're really stereotyped that people are emotional eater. So if you're sad, that means that you're eating, therefore you're gonna gain weight. So a lot of people would ask me, "Are you okay? Is everything's fine? Like, why are you so puffy? And are you pregnant? Are you this and that?" And I'll be like, "No, I'm just relaxing, enjoying my time." And they'll be feeling, wait, what? You're relaxing, enjoying your time, therefore you're gaining weight? So I'm like, yes. So they keep comparing me like between the past years and nowadays. I'm like, yes, because I'm not in stress, I'm not depressed. You know, sometimes when you're a lot of pressure of work, and even when it comes into different things that you face in life, you get this kind of time where you actually, like, say for instance, feel pressure, feel depressed. So I avoid eating. It will be maybe just one meal, or even let's say skipping meals as well. While vice versa, when I'm really relaxed, enjoying my time, having everything when it comes into, let's say, being let's say appreciated and stuff like that, you just for me, I feel relaxed and I just enjoy eating and having my meals. Like I make sure it's not 3, but it's 5 meals a day. So you can see that.
I think I'm the complete opposite. If I'm happy, the last thing I want to do is waste time with food, honestly.
Wow.
I am so happy, I cannot swallow my food, to be completely honest. I'm just not worried about food. I'm
Yeah,
trying to
yeah.
enjoy my happiness. When I'm happy, I'm very social too. So I want to go out, I want to see my friends, I want to do all these things. Usually I'm very reserved and like my home. So I don't have time
Okay,
to waste
yeah.
when I'm in a good mood. But honestly, I'm very emotional when it comes to food, right? So let's break this down. Usually it starts with anxiety and then the depression comes.
Yes.
There's a whole
Right?
science behind it.
There's a science behind it. So when the anxiety is still there, with the depression, I'm not eating. As soon as the anxiety goes and I'm only depressed, I won't leave food for anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will eat everything. I will binge. I will I'll have something that's super salty and then I want something sweet, but I had something
Wow.
sweet, so I want to go back to salty.
You're trying to balance it out, girl.
It never ends. Okay.
It never ends.
So honestly, yeah, I feel like we're all emotional eaters in different ways.
In different ways,
right?
yeah,
If
yeah.
you're, for example, Hiba and Eltiab, if you're happy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You're
Yes.
eating. So
To
very
be
different.
fair, for me, I'm kind of a bit similar to you. If I'm depressed, I'm not eating anything. even if it's like the whole day, I'm not eating anything. I'm
Yeah.
cool. I'm just laying. I'm having a good time. But if I'm happy, I'm too busy like enjoying the time with
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
And if I'm anxious, I'll eat. Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah.
But I would feel sick. Like I would
Exactly.
genuinely feel sick in my stomach that I wouldn't be able to carry on the food. So
Definitely.
it's just like managing your emotions and also eating. You have to like separate them. You have to understand them. You have to like listen to your body. It's so scary because you can go overboard with it. And then when can you stop? Because you already built a habit.
But also, how do you deal with being told that you have to eat? Like, for example, I know I don't like to have food within the first 6-7 hours, honestly, of waking up. I'm usually not craving food. I'm not hungry. I'm still having coffee and water. And that, to me, that's very filling, usually, honestly, with the big amounts of water I have, you know? So usually I get hungrier by the end of the day.
Right.
But I would have friends that have been brought up in environments where no, you have to have 3 meals and snacks and you know, they spend all of their day eating, honestly, even if they're not hungry, just because you have to eat. You have to have breakfast. You haven't had food in 3 hours. How do you feel about that? Do you actually go with what your body's telling you or do you stick to?
I would say just do you. So if you're not feeling of having this meal right now, don't have it. But one thing that can really affect this decision, at least for me, is when I'm not that hungry or I decided that I do not want to eat at this time or I do not want to have this meal, I want to skip it, and being with people that are eating or are having this meal, most probably or 90% I will eat.
Right.
So what I do is avoid this time or do not be with them for this time and then come back later on a different time just to avoid it if I decided to not to eat.
That's very smart.
Yes, I mean, I was brought up in a family that we don't really eat in the morning. Like, for instance, we've always been told that before you go to school, you have to have a breakfast.
Right.
I mean, who would ever wake up 6 a.m. wanting and craving to have something? I mean, you want to sleep, you don't want to have food.
Yeah,
So I remember that in early age, when I was in kindergarten, primary, my mom used to force me to have some cornflakes and stuff like that. But it was very, let's say, I can't, let's say, have it in my system. And then that's it. That was the only stage where my mom used to force me for food. But then when it came into different kind of stage in life, we never think about breakfast as much as we think about lunch.
Yes.
Even when it comes into dinner, we don't think about dinner that much because we only think about lunch because it's for us it's the main dish, and we're not the person who, let's say, family that eat lunch early. Like
Yes.
lunch could be at 3 p.m. And it stays on the table from 3 p.m. to 4 or 5 in a way that maybe someone will come back and eat, or we don't feel like having lunch now, we'll eat it later.
Yes.
So this is how we were brought up when it comes into our system, and it's fine. If you want to have breakfast, you can have breakfast. You want to have lunch, it's fine. It's always there, but we don't force anyone to have their meal because
Yes.
we believe that it's all about you and your system. If you feel like having breakfast or lunch, you can have it, but as long as nobody forces you, you know.
Definitely.
To be fair, for me, I'm very petty. Don't talk to me. Don't tell me you're supposed to eat. No, honestly, because I get really grumpy. Don't tell
Right.
me what to do. And that's my answer. I'm like, don't tell me what to do. I'm an adult. I've been in life for 27 years, so you're not here to tell me what to do. But the thing is, I think my mom, she raised me on, like, you have to eat every single meal. Whatever I cook, you have to eat it.
Yeah.
But now I'm too tired. I don't want to
It's not
eat.
happening.
Yeah, that's not happening. Don't force me. So I would like my mom now, what she does is she cooks the food and then she would leave it in the kitchen. Whoever wants to eat, you can eat whatever you want. So for me, I don't do breakfast. I need some time. I need 3 hours for me in the
Yeah.
morning. And then even dinner time. My whole life is based on my mood.
Right.
So even eating, there are days where I be eating heavily. There are days where I just don't want to eat.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So yeah, but sometimes being aware is very important. So sometimes when family members say you're not eating, maybe because you're actually not eating. You know what I
Right.
mean? And they're worried about you because like you've been working too much or you've been doing this or that. So it's just having a bit of awareness within yourself is more important than like people having them around.
Definitely.
And that's very important, you know. The most important thing is also not to get affected by others. Like, I remember me and my cousin, we were like, you know what, we have to stop eating. So we said that we want to watch a movie. It was about anorexia, a kind of thing. And the thing that happened is we were watching and we were eating more and more because the crave was there, and we were like, how is she doing that? Like, how is she taking a measure of her arm with the ring? And it was like, what is she doing? And then I remember we ended up doing this, like, this is as much as I can do to, let's say, lock my hand. And then we were like eating and eating. And we're like, what is this? It's like completely the opposite. That was a case, that was more of an awareness case. But you know, that's the most important thing, is to keep yourself healthy and never get, let's say, affected easily by the surrounding and so. And speaking about that, we still didn't order. So please, is it healthy? Fast food? Burgers?
I'm still leaning towards
Yeah,
burgers.
I'm not even
Just
gonna
order
bother.
pizza.
Yeah, let's just do that.